Nothing here. We'll see. But I can tell you this tonight with confidence. I can tell you how this is going to end, and it's going to end up with the re-election of Donald Trump. And in part, we are going to be able to thank them for what they did and their stupidity and their lack of concern for you, we, the American people. And I can see the Republicans taking back the House. I can see Republicans increasing their majority in the U.S. Senate. But make no mistake about it, these are dangerous times for our constitutional republic. By the way, God help us if they ever did win with their $94 trillion Green New Deal, their $36 trillion Medicare for all with no private insurance. Yeah, you see, that would destroy the greatest economy ever designed by man. That's a clear and present danger. Democrats, their compliant lapdogs, stenographers, and the mob and the media, they're now willing to shred the Constitution, upend the rule of law, suspend any connection to truth, reality, objective truth, and by the way, they'll cast away all God-given common sense, assuming they might have had some at the beginning, to subvert the will of you, we, the American people. The root cause of this now going into another impeachment saga, it's not bribery, high crimes, and misdemeanors. They don't have any of that. Instead, it is a psychotic hatred and rage against this president, and really for those of us that put him in office and voted for him. In other words, they never recovered from losing in 2016. They thought they had this covered. Make no mistake, they loathe we, you, the American people. We smelly Walmart shoppers. I love Walmart. We irredeemable deplorables. You know, we're Americans that cling to our God. Thank you. Our guns, our Bible, our religion. They hate you. They hate me. They hate the president. And they look down on all of us. They think they know better. And they want total control of your life, your decisions, and they'll tax you to death to get their scheme done. They want to confiscate our money. They want everything free for everybody. Cradle to grave, womb to tomb. Free Medicare, free higher education, free child care, free paid vacation, free housing, free healthy food, free universal basic income, whether you're willing or unwilling to work. By the way, they'll eliminate oil, gas, the combustion engines, eventually planes and cows. And Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the real Speaker of the House, now wants to provide, this is the truth, welfare for illegal immigrants, including criminal illegal immigrants, those convicted. Now, this would cause an economic devastation, the likes of which we, the U.S., and the world has ever witnessed. This is the greatest wealth-producing system in the world. It would be turned into another socialist hell, no different than Venezuela or Cuba. But in order to govern this country with an iron fist and carry out that socialist dream of theirs, they must first reclaim power. It's all about power. Now, you might say, we have an election in 1 year. Why not let the American people decide? Well, the answer to that is they don't want to risk another term of President Trump, so they feel they got to bludgeon him more. It'll backfire, but that's their thinking. Instinctively, I argue they know they can't win with the people they have running. Congressman Al Green said it best. If he's not impeached, yeah, he could get reelected. Likely will. Take a look.
Are you concerned that impeachment talk may actually help the president's reelection? I'm concerned that if we don't impeach this president, will get reelected. If we don't impeach him, he will say he has been vindicated.
We don't impeach him, he will get reelected. Now, what we have now been through the last 3 years, Russia, impeach, Stormy, it's now clear Democrats are fully prepared to upend the will of the American people by any means necessary. They think.
Oh, hey, I'm just surfing the web with Kate. What's Kate? It's a
They know better than we do. And what, by the way, of the do-nothing Democrats, what have they done? What accomplishment have they made in the last 3 years of Russia to make we, the American people, more prosperous, to keep us more safe and more secure? They've done nothing. This is all they've done for 3 years. They want this post-constitutional America. They want to stack the U.S. Supreme Court, eliminate the Electoral College, so California, New Jersey, New York, and Illinois will decide every national election. They want to get rid of a president because they don't like him. And by the way, even if he does something they like, they don't like him. Now, what the left does fail to realize time and again is that, well, we might be irredeemable deplorables that cling to our God, but we're also hard-working, logical, smart Americans, and we weren't, well, swamped out of the common sense God gave us. We know what this impeachment inquiry is all about, nothing more than a political stunt. They've tried this for 3 years now. They failed. By the way, this time, they're not gonna put their faith and hope in another special prosecutor who in the end just let them down because there was no evidence. We have all witnessed the less insane, breathless, nonstop, 3-year hoax, their lies, their conspiracy theories, and their witch hunt. Same people now, same agenda, just a different country. It's Ukraine. By the way, Ukraine helped Hillary Clinton in the last election. Yeah, and they admit it. And by the way, a DNC operative subcontractor met with Ukrainian officials to get dirt on Trump. Not telling that story either. And we, the people, we have been watching and witnessing this phony, fake outrage, this media circus, the character assassination, the smearing. Oh, the president, Justice Kavanaugh. We witnessed a 16-year-old high school kid get demonized on national TV for wearing a MAGA hat. They assassinated his character. You, the American people, you've been witnessing the media mobs, and they are a mob with a mob mindset, breathless hysteria, result in one fake, phony story after another, one lie after another, every second of every day. We got him. No, you don't. The great irony in all of this, whatever accusations Democrats and the mob launch against the president, they end up being guilty of that very thing themselves. How ironic. This is why tonight I want you to take a close look at this list. And by the way, those Democratic congressmen and women, they represent districts that President Trump carried in 2016. Now, if you live in any of those districts, it might be important to remind your lawmaker that they work for you. And not doing anything in 3 years is not acceptable to you, and to allow the corrupt, cowardly Adam, the shifty ship, literally run this thing. These people need to stand up to this post-constitutional coup attempt in their party, and frankly, I say defeat them. This is where you have the power, not them. The radical far-left extreme socialists in charge of the Democratic Party think they rule it all. You will have the last say at the end of the day. The cowardly Schiff and AOC and Tlaib and Omar and Pelosi, speaker name only, they get their way. The sanctity of your vote, the foundations of this great, prosperous republic will be destroyed because they want to fundamentally, drastically reshape America. And Adam, the cowardly shifty Schiff, well, in particular, he's trying to con we the people with outright lies and fabrications. Now, we know that the non-whistleblower, well, from the Ukraine call, worked with Schiff's office to craft the complaint. In fact, Schiff's office encouraged the whistleblower to hire a lawyer, go to the Inspector General on national TV. The shifty Schiff, well, he said, we have not spoken directly with the whistleblower, but we'd like to. That was a lie, too. Maybe that's why the fake whistleblower failed to mention his contact with Schiff's office in the complaint. And according to a reporter, Catherine Herridge, this non-whistleblower, and we have more because that one's not panning out. We have tons of whistleblowers. We'll make them up. Filing this complaint left a blank
My name is Tim Seitz. I'm a stock trader who has turned roughly $12,000 into nearly $5 million.
They didn't use it. Still no word on why there was also an 18-day gap in between the president's call with Ukraine and the urgent report made to the Inspector General. Maybe the cowardly Schiff has not been contacted by that point. Maybe he knows the answer. Maybe Schiff can also fill us in on why the fake, phony, non-whistleblower is reportedly a registered Democrat, hired to work in the Obama White House, went to his office, of all places, to file his complaint. And maybe the cowardly Schiff can tell us how the president's phone calls with world leaders are now getting leaked again and again to the press. Australia, Mexico, Ukraine, Australia again. No other president in the history of this country has had to deal with this onslaught from a deep state bureaucracy swamp from within. Only Donald Trump. And now we're seeing even more leaks from more whistleblowers. There's no end to the whistleblowers that are not whistleblowers. That didn't work out. We'll find some more. They don't need to hear from anyone, by the way, because we have a transcript. Doesn't matter what they think or how they interpreted hearsay information. So does Schiff or anyone in the swamp actually care about, let's see, real national security ramifications? What if the president needs to talk to a world leader, frankly, about issues of war and peace? Is that going to be spied on too? Do they care about our diplomacy now significantly impaired because of these leaks? Clearly not. Now, don't expect to get an honest answer from Schiff or any other Democrat for that matter, and certainly don't expect your lying, corrupt mob media to ever do their jobs. The only thing they care about is taking down Donald Trump, no matter what, undoing an election of we, the people. They're all proven liars, every one of them. The same players, the same playbook, just a different country. Now it's Ukraine, not Russia. And I can't think of a single issue that they've not lied about. Our own Greg Jarrett points out Schiff alone lied about Carter Page getting bribed by the Kremlin. He lied about the dissemination of the dirty dossier. Schiff lied when he claimed that the dirty dossier was not the bulk of information in the FISA application against Carter Page to spy on a candidate, a transition team, and then a president. And who could forget, Schiff also lied repeatedly, alleging to have the damning evidence proving Trump-Russia collusion. That didn't work out, did it? As a matter of fact, for years, there he is, the cowardly, shifty Schiff. Well, he's lied over and over and over and over again. Frankly, not only censure, he should not be in charge of the intelligence community. Really? This guy? Take a look.
Yes, there's ample evidence of collusion in plain sight. We've known for some time, at least it's been publicly reported, that the dossier or the hiring of Christopher Steele was initially on behalf of one of the Republican candidates and later on behalf of the Democratic candidate. That application and those renewals have been vindicated in substantial part by Carter Page's own words. Well, I certainly think he's acting like someone who's compromised, and it may very well be that he is compromised, or it may very well be that he believes that he's compromised, that the Russians have information on him. According to Christopher Steele, a former British intelligence officer who is reportedly held in high regard by U.S. intelligence, Russian sources tell him that Page has also had a secret meeting with Igor Sechin, CEO of the Russian gas giant Rosneft. According to Steele's Russian sources, Page has offered brokerage fees by Sechin on a deal involving a 19% share of the company.
I hear what you want. I have a favor I want from you, though. And I'm going to say this only 7 times, so you better listen good. I want you to make up dirt on my political opponent, understand lots of it. On this and on that.
He's a liar. He's a pathological, frankly congenital liar. It's not just about the lies, though. It's the complete and utter hypocrisy. His fellow Democrats, the media mob, they all do the same thing. Schiff alleged to have all the evidence. He's going to prove it. Trump-Russia collusion. But he's the guy caught on tape trying to get dirt from somebody that sounds like a Russian that he thought wasn't Russian. In fact, he took that direct call from 2 pranksters who claimed to have naked pics of Trump, compromising materials from Trump. He thought the Ukrainians with connections to Vladimir Putin. And does Vladimir know Yeah, but let me know about the compromising materials of naked Trump. His colleague on the other side of the aisle, Mark Warner, he isn't any better. Remember, after 4 separate...
Hey, you're here! Tony, everyone's inside. Are you guys seeing this?
Investigations, no evidence of any collusion, including his own bipartisan probe in the Senate. Warner still claimed that Trump might have colluded with Russia anyway. But at the very same time, whoopsie-daisy, Senator Warner was busy texting a lobbyist for a Russian oligarch to get dirt on Trump. Warner texting, wanting the oligarch to help set up a private meeting with none other than Christopher Steele, without any of his Republican colleagues on the committee knowing what they're doing or what they accuse Trump of. He actually texted.
All right, let's start. We've been waiting enough. Secretary General spoke this morning at the Security Council's open debate on preventive diplomacy, conflict prevention, and resolution in Africa. He said that all of the UN's work on conflict prevention and resolution relies on partnerships with member states, regional and sub-regional organizations, and others, pointing how the African Union is our key strategic partner in the continent. The Secretary General said we're making progress on conflict prevention in many parts of Africa. As an example, he pointed to the Central African Republic, where the UN, the African Union, and others are cooperating in support of the historic agreement reached in February to end violence against civilians, strengthen the extension of state authority, and bring social and economic development. His full remarks have been made available to you. And staying on the Central African Republic, at the end of her joint mission in the Central African Republic, Jean-Pierre Lacroix, the head of the Department of Peace Operations, the African Union's Commissioner for Peace and Security, Smail Shergi, and the European Union's Director General for African Affairs, Koen Verwake, reiterated their support for the full implementation of the peace agreement. They welcome the efforts by the President, his government, as well as all who are working towards this goal, which the mission described as the only way to build a durable peace in the country. They were up in Birao, where they saw firsthand the impact of recent clashes on the population. And we have a fuller note available to you on the trip. We also want to note with much regret that a fourth Senegalese crew member injured in the 27th September helicopter crash in the Central African Republic has died. We send our condolences to his family and all of his colleagues. And also staying on Mr. Lacroix, earlier today, after his trip to Central African Republic, he and Mr. Shergi arrived in Khartoum for a 2-day visit. During the visit, they will meet with Sudanese transitional authorities, participate in a tripartite meeting to discuss the future of the UN AU mission in Darfur. And tomorrow, they will also go to Darfur, where they will meet with the mission's leadership and staff. The officials will then travel to Addis Ababa in Ethiopia on October 9th to jointly brief the African Union Peace and Security Council on the outcomes of their visits to Central African Republic and Sudan. On his way back to New York, Mr. Lacroix will visit Spain, where he'll take part in the National Day ceremonies on the 12th of October at the invitation of the government, as this year marks the 30th anniversary of the participation of the Spanish Armed Forces in international peacekeeping operations. And the Deputy Secretary General Amina Mohammed spoke to the Executive Committee of time and time again, we see how both host communities and refugee populations can benefit from increased development cooperation, including in the areas of education and health. The Deputy Secretary General also added that December's